My earliest almost clear memories of a past life go back thousands of years to the times of Sri Krishna, the Yadava hero and divine manifestation. My father, the Rishi Vishnugda, and I, his only daughter Indumathi, lived on the outskirts of the city of Indraprastha. We lived in a mud-walled, thatched kutir, cottage, in the forest that bordered the banks of the Yamuna, in the midst of beautiful flowering trees and creepers. My mother Renuka had died at childbirth, and I was brought up by my father, with the help of the wives of other rishis who lived in the forest. Being his only child, I was pampered by my father who loved me immensely. He treated me like a son and initiated me into the study of the Vedas, the chanting of the Gayatri Mantra and the practice of Abhyasa Yoga according to the Yajnavalkya Sutras. We led a peaceful and joyous life in Shrungavana with the other rishis and their families. On the eve of my 16th birthday, my father, sitting under an ancient peepal tree that stood nearby, said words that would change the course of my life. These were his words: "My child, the great divinity called Mahavishnu has manifested himself in the form of a dark-complexioned boy belonging to the Yadu clan in the little town of Gokula, near the Brindavan grove. At the moment, he is running around and playing with the Gopas and Gopis, cowherds and cowgirls." 2 days later, one early morning, we started on our journey. It took several days. Sometimes we found food and shelter in hermitages or in the houses of householders, and sometimes we had to spend our time in the open under the trees and eat whatever fruits and nuts we found. Twice, we were caught in heavy rains and chilly winds. 3 days short of Brindavan, my father took seriously ill. "Indu," he said to me, "I don't think I have the good fortune of seeing the physical manifestation of Narayana this time. You will see him. I am weak and will not recover from this illness. Help me go to the Yamuna. I shall let her take my body wherever she wishes." With great difficulty I carried him to the river. With a lot of effort he let himself into the waters, shut off his breathing. His body was taken away by the river Yamuna. I had lost everything now. My father, who was all that I had, was no more. Being a Rishi Putri, I soon shed my grief and walked towards Brindavan. There, I inquired and located the house of Gunashila and Chandrika. They wept when they heard of the passing away of my father and adopted me as their own, for they were childless. One late night, I was sitting alone in the inner courtyard, which had no roof, and ruminating on the stories about this Krishna I was hearing almost every day from the gopis. I looked up and saw the full moon in all its naked glory, partly covered by a thin raiment of silvery white clouds. Then I heard it. It came from a distance and slowly advanced towards me, the sweet melody of someone playing the flute. So beautiful was the music that I stood up and was rooted to the spot like a snake in front of a snake charmer. Days passed and I still resisted. One evening at dusk, I walked up to the river to get some water. Whilst filling my water pot, I sensed someone standing behind me. I turned and saw him, a handsome, dark-complexioned adolescent boy. His smile was the most beautiful one I have ever seen. He stroked my right shoulder and said, "Tonight is a full moon night. Come." Then he walked away.